Hello everyone, I'm back for another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video in which I take on Stage 3 of Perfect Cooperation Team Battle, the Power of Mortals, and the missions to beat the stage, beat it without using a support item, and beat it with 6 Realm of God characters, as well as complete all of the missions related to this stage. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Goku Black team into this fight as I go ahead and really get into things right here. Consider liking if you do end up enjoying the video, and if you have not done so already, please consider subscribing and turning on notification bells so you can stay up to date with all of my latest videos. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get things rolling. Now, I should be able to beat this fairly quickly, chat. This should not be a long fight for me to go ahead and go through, especially with my Goku Black clones Link level 10 clocking the supers. Oh, yes. Let's go. Yes. Along with that, they have... Let's see if I eat the super, though. Yes, I take double digits. Yeah, along with that, the Goku Blacks do support the clones as well, which is why I want this friend Goku Black to go over to the other rotation as fast as possible, although it doesn't look like Vegeta is necessarily going to survive these next couple of rotations anyway. So, yeah, let's go ahead and get things rolling. And as I can see, we have a super attack in the last slot here. Thank you, Intelligence Clone, for pointing that out to me. That is actually super clutch on a rotation like this, so I can go ahead and get this fight beat very quickly. Going to go ahead and just clobber things down here, go ahead and wrap things up with the clone team. Just the amount of super attacks it can pull off, just the amount of damage these guys can pull off, especially with all of them having big bad bosses. It's just so crazy what these clones are able to do. Each and every one of them has just their own unique gimmick that's just like, oh, that's just so amazing. That's just so absolutely ridiculous. And then he has guaranteed crit, I believe. Yeah. Gonna go ahead and clobber that. That was very simple to beat. Very quick fight right over here. So yeah, that didn't even take even a couple minutes to beat. Yeah, no, I literally beat it in like 2 minutes 30 seconds. So go ahead and get the equipment for beating the stage. It's level 7 defense orb for Future Saga. This is a crit for Future Saga, and this is what additionals for Future Saga, and then gonna go ahead and get the mission to complete all the missions. And then we have missions for Stage 4 Miracle Makers and Never Surrender. It's the missions to clear the stage, clear without using support items, and clear Stage 4 with 6 Future Saga characters. So I mean, I might as well go into Stage 4 as well, because this Stage 3 did not take long at all for me to absolutely clobber down. So let's go ahead and get things rolling as I have a super attack aimed at me in slot 1, which is going to be very useful for me to go ahead and just absolutely tank for double digits as I counter with a super attack. Let's go ahead and bang! Do some good damage right there, and then go ahead and get things rolling. As, of course, I should be able to beat Goku and Vegeta before they inevitably fuse into Vegito, which is not something I want to see go ahead and proc, but that's a good proc on the... It's a 50-50 whether you get the normal super or the just the enhanced super. The Goku Black team is just so good. Oh, they did such a fantastic job with these free-to-play units. Not only giving them all alternate artworks, like they did not have to do that. They didn't have to give them alternate artworks. They didn't have to give them an alternate super where they have like a 50-50 chance if they're at level 10 super attack. Like, they did not have to do all that for these characters. Like, no, they definitely did not. They definitely did not have to just go wickedly all out for these clones, but they definitely did. I'm definitely very happy that they did, for sure. He's going to go ahead and tank that straight to the face as he's going to go ahead and get these super attacks off, get these super attacks in, and I should have his boss dead, if not by turn 4, by turn 5, as I go ahead and get things rolling with these active skills, of course. Going to get all the very, very nice explosive damage from them as well. Don't proc any of the supers except for the last one. It is what it is on that front. Yes, every single one of these guys are Link level 10 except for the Tech Clone, I believe. He should be 2 Links away from 10. But other than that, this is like max performance Goku Black. And it is very, very, very good. Gallic Gun on this clone. He does a little bit of damage, which is actually quite good. That's actually not that bad for us, just because of the fact that we can... Forecasting the super is crazy good. Wow, nice. Let's go. Actually, I actually don't want to heal here. Funnily enough, let's not heal. Let's actually not heal on this turn, just because maximum output Zamasu is something I'm very interested in seeing. I am very interested in seeing max output full power Zamasu on this next turn at 55% level 10 links. Let's see how that goes as I go ahead and keep getting off these super attacks onto the boss. Yeah, I'm not going to be killing right there, but I should have enough firepower to see what Zamasu is really made of, because the Zamasu side of the Goku Black and Zamasu definitely only really has value if you're in a pinch, which I mean, I guess that's actually pretty good, but I don't know if that's necessarily what I would like to see. I believe they're going to go ahead and fuse right here. Yeah, they are going to go ahead and fuse.
We have all the power here. The two of us alone.
Which I mean, oh, no. But they should be fusing by, like, next turn, though. I believe they should fuse next turn. Vegeta. Oh, it's turn 4. Their fusion is on turn 5. Yeah, they fuse on turn 5, so that's why. So let's go ahead and get this Zamasu active in here. As you can see, when HP is 60% or less, he gets more attack and defense, so this attack should kill. Right here. Let's go ahead and see, though. We have an extra 300% attack and defense right here, by the way. Oh my gosh! 61 million? How, and the full heal? Hello? 2 million defense? Hello? Where did that full heal come from? What? Oh, wait. Yeah, wait, whoa. Oh, right, the skill that heals damage. Yo, wait. That's actually so clutch. Wait, chat. Do you realize, right, that what this is saying is it's a full Senzu Bean if you have HP 60% or less. So let's say if you're at 1% HP. If you did that much damage, you snap back to full health. That's insane! That's insane! Wow! Oh my gosh! Let's go ahead and actually stay here as Zamasu, just because Zamasu is going to be doing so much damage and he has enough defense to tank the super. Wow, that's super good. Yeah, we need the super. Come on. We have 2.5 million defense, and you don't hit that hard. 70 million? Is this mine? Yeah, that's mine. That's my 55%. Yo! 70 million. Okay, now you can see how Zamasu is actually someone you might want to tag into if you're in a pinch. He is definitely useful for that purpose. So I'm going to go ahead, get the mission from clearing stage 4. Clearing stage 4 without using support item, and they're on Realm of Guards. And so, obviously, this mission is a Future Saga mission, but they give the Realm of Gods equip. And this is the Realm of Gods mission, but they obviously give the Future Saga equip. So that's the thing. Wallpaper. Let's equip the wallpaper. Yeah, let's go ahead and get the wallpaper on. And get the missions done here. So, no, I don't want to return the title just yet. Go ahead and get this. Get all the rainbow tickets. And yeah, I mean, with all the missions for part 1 done, that does mean that there should be no more content to have to go ahead and clear. Go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and save up. You know, I got Champa, I got the Blue Goku, and I got Goku Black. And definitely more stones I want to spend on this celebration. Look, my stone count is 1,000. That's when I start sweating, right? You start sweating, really just start sweating. I should go ahead and Dokkan Awaken him sometime soon. Yeah, I need to go ahead and have him Dokkan Awaken sometime soon. Definitely would have been helpful for all the Universe 6 missions that I've done. But I'm going to go ahead and also get that mission to clear all the missions related to Stage 4. With that being said, of course, the Goku Black team is super cracked, super busted, but it's really not a team where you see the full power of until you have big bad bosses and all these links just level 10. Absolutely not. You absolutely do not see the full power of this team until you have BBB level 10. It's just so true. It's just such a critical link. It is just such a critical link to level 10. Big Bad Bosses is probably the strongest link, I probably have to say. Yeah, it definitely feels like the strongest link in the game. And getting into Zamasu, which, I mean, hey, I've used Zamasu to greater effect more times than Vegeta, because at least Zamasu has the merit of, like, okay, if you're in a pinch, we can do a lot of damage, and then we do a lot of damage with the active. Like, come on. I think that is definitely something that has to be stated about Zamasu, is while Vegeta's side of the Goku, I don't use ever. It's just not worth using. But the Zamasu side of the Goku Black and Zamasu definitely has some merit to be using, for sure. And he does have damage reduction support when attacking, which is crazy. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it has a little bit of defense. Not as much defense as Goku Black ends up having, just because he has, like, up to, 60% damage reduction? So that's definitely 60% damage reduction on guard. So definitely something to keep in mind with these units. But yeah, that is all the content it looks like for part 1 of the Global Dokkan campaign. We should be getting news about not necessarily what part 2 is going to be, because we know what part 2 is going to be. It is going to be... I'm not going to say it in this video, but if you know, you know. Dokkan is the silly goober, and they can't shut their freaking trap for once in their life. Like, come on. Can you at least shut your lips and make it so that you don't leak your own game, please? That would be fantastic. That would be fantastic. Like, okay, if it was coming out soon, like, right, and if you already showed it off, that I mean, that's fine if it's in the data download. But yeah, no, that's not it at all. It is literally something where they put it in the data download. It's not through illicit methods, by the way. I'm fairly positive you could see this in game. You could see it in game on the Japan version, which is crazy how the Japan version has been leaking so much stuff. It's like crazy. Usually the global side will be very bad about it, but no, it's the Japan version this time, which is actually like shocking that the Japan version has been dropping so many leaks. so many leaks. So many leaks. But with that being said, hopefully y'all enjoyed this video regardless. As I go ahead and get on out of here. We didn't even see Vegito. Yeah, this content definitely feels like it's short just because to counter the 10th anniversary LRs, because that's the easiest way to counter the 10th anniversary LRs, right? If you have content, then you don't necessarily see Vegito or Gogeta, or if it's like the last turn in the fight. Yeah, I mean, if 80-90% of the time you don't see Vegito, I mean, they're good, do not get me wrong, they're good in base, but especially the AGL Gogeta, he gets washed. He can get washed defensively. Oh yeah, at least with the tech Vegito, if after attacking, because obviously he still gets washed from slot 1 and AoEs, which I mean Stage 1 of Goku Black does without exception, and you have to get like perfect rotations to even like beat that fight. No items. I beat it no items, but don't get me wrong, it was just because of the luck of the draw, the rotations. But yeah, I went ahead and beat all the content missions here for sure. That does look pretty good. Yeah, we have the title screen as a wallpaper. Sick. But that does mean we're going to go ahead and wrap up. Power level flex real quick. Yeah. Some high power level. Got some high power level. And yeah, I'll be off now. Easy A for Fusions Zamasu came out as well, so I just want to say that as content, but not too much things to do for the new content. It was fairly easy to complete too, so I mean that may be part of it, but you know, it is what it is. Hopefully y'all enjoyed, and until next time, well, probably the next time on Dokkan will be when I'm covering these new characters that come out and be summoning for them, and hopefully not getting shafted. But with that being said, hopefully y'all enjoyed, and until next time, actually, let me go ahead and end up on Zamasu. Zamas actually helped me. Zamas was actually clutch. Zamas actually did a lot of damage. But however, there is still an argument to use this Goku Black active skill, by the way. You know why? Oh yeah. Support. Oh, why is it support important? Because you can say, okay, all the Goku Blacks gain all this attack and defense, all this Goku Blacks gain this attack and defense. You want to swap. Or okay, Goku Black, attack and defense with Goku Black, and attack and defense with Goku Black, and then just support. But this Zamasu side, I'd say is only good if like, you know, under 60% HP. I'd say you don't really use the Zamasu anyway, even still. But that active skill is obviously good for the self buff if you need it, but I just don't find this very appealing. I don't find the tag mechanic very appealing at all, because you don't switch. Like, if you ever see me play with the 10th anniversary fusions, you know I stay in base the whole time until I fuse. Like, that is how you play with these characters, which it feels like a transforming character rather than a tag character. And they're trying to not have it feel like this, which is why they're emphasizing on the tag mechanic. But the problem with that is, one tag side is not horrible at all, but just useless, right? Just there's no use case scenario, or the use case scenario, quote unquote, is so niche that's like, oh yeah, I'm not using that. I ain't doing all that. I ain't doing all that for this character for sure. So yeah, that is definitely something to keep in mind. And probably the biggest problem I have with tags is the mechanic isn't useful. The mechanic is awesome. We love seeing these characters combine, characters together. We love this part. We love, like, it's a better version of the duo when it was duo should have been the whole time, which is another problem that I've stated for that ever since the tag mechanic came out during the 10th anniversary. But the main problem here is, we do not have much of a reason to tag switch into these characters besides in these scenarios, and I don't think that's a good thing. It really is not a good thing for these characters to just behave like this. Like, oh, the only active skill I've used is like, what, Veku? Yeah, Veku active is pretty good. But of course, I go into events, I'm like, use Veku, but I'd be like, yo, I would have rather have fused. Yeah, I would have rather have fused. These characters just feel like transformation characters or normal characters because you don't really want to tag switch into the flip side for sure. At least in DBL, and I'm not saying this just to like complain, well, oh my gosh, he's bringing up DBL again, okay, but I'm being so serious when I say that the tag mechanic there is at least like, you are incentivized. You are at least incentivized to keep switching, right? You're incentivized. Once you can switch, you usually switch. Like, I usually switch. Like, you're usually incentivized to switch. And once you can switch again, you switch back. And then you switch back over and 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 over. When you can get decent hang time with both the characters. I'm being so serious. And they feel like good enough where it's like, okay, they're different, but they aren't, like, one of them isn't like, oh, it's so superior to the other side that I have to use it over. Like, no. No. They both have their own strengths and their own takebacks where the other side is better in some certain way, but that just definitely makes them interesting, especially with Attack Kale and Caulifla they introduced in Legends, where it's like you keep on attacking and then you build up with them, but I'm pretty sure they did not too terrible of a job with Attack Kale and Caulifla. I don't know why I've never used them, but I believe you tag switch at like what, turn 6 though, which is yeah, that's certainly a condition. That's certainly a condition. That is certainly a condition. Let me see, because I hope I'm not remembering that correctly. 6 turn from the start of battle. That is sad. I get it because it's like 6 or whatever for Universe 6, but golly, you did not have to do this to those cards. You could have just said turn 4. Like, jeez. Ooh. But at least the sides are comparable to each other. At least, like, you want to switch into Kale. Like, the thing is, I can see myself wanting to switch into Kale. Why? Because she's a high DPS. She's worth the turn 6. For sure. But, you know, Caulifla has the absolute just madness that is her turn 6 as well. So you could see yourself wanting to switch into either of these characters for the certain scenarios, which is what they're failing to do with these characters. That is all I wanted to say on that. I just wanted to say I think Dokkan needs to refine their tags. Like, if they make the characters themselves better, not the mechanic. The mechanic is completely fine. They just need to design these characters a little bit better so you were actually incentivized to, you know, use the mechanic. I mean, I should be incentivized to use the mechanic, right? If there's a mechanic, I should be drawn to use the mechanic. Like, unlike Beast Gohan's active skill, where it's like right, the fusions. I want to use the fusion active skill. I don't even want to tag switch. This Gohan, you want to use the standby. You want to use the Dragon Ball mechanic. This guy, you want to pop the domain mechanic. Let's see, Beast Gohan, you want to pop the target skill with the active skill. You want to use that strategically, it's so strong. But this guy, it's just, there's just not many reasons to switch. I'd say Zamasu is better just because of the fact that Vegeta's, there's no reason to switch into Vegeta. There's absolutely 0% case scenario where I could see where you want to switch into Vegeta. Or at least with the Zamasu, you actually kind of want to switch into the Zamasu in certain scenarios. Especially with his recent fights doing so much damage. You're like, yo, the full heal proccing is very, very impressive and very nice what the Zamasu is able to do. And then even if you want the defense, you can say, okay, I can switch back into Goku Black. And just go ahead and go from there. I'm being so serious. It's actually pretty good. But yeah, with that being said, hopefully you'll enjoy this video. And I'll get on out of here what y'all think about part 1 of the Future Saga Global Dokkan campaign so far. Let me know down in the comments below what y'all thoughts are on the celebration. Overall, I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was very good. These two characters, along with the Goku and Vegeta, well, really the Goku, because the Vegeta side is absolute, I'd say not useful. Not useful is the word I'd use, but this Goku is absolutely incredible, though. No complaints about the Goku, but the Vegeta side is pretty crummy. These clones are very good. Goku Black himself is very good. Of course, the Masu is aight, but he can do some stuff if you're at low HP, so that's very, very, very good. But with that being said, that'll probably have to wrap it up for part 1 of this celebration for sure. Yeah, they should be having a reveal video soon for part 2, although we know what it is, so it's not gonna be that. It's not gonna be great anyway. I mean, okay. I'll get this out of the way. This is not a rant, okay? A rant will be much more negative than this, by the way. But just as something to get off my chest, I do want to say that I think that the video where they show off the characters and really just go ahead and do things in a way where they show things off for like 10 minutes, get on out of here, and then a couple days later they show off the characters for real. I think that's already a terrible model, by the way, but when it's leaked, it gets even worse, right? It feels even worse when it's like it's a check-in for the character artworks, but that's like, if we already know what the character artworks are, that's like half the check-in, right? And then the other half of the check-in is the animations and the quote-unquote hype. So, it is what it is on that front. But Dokkan really has to stop leaking themselves. In the first half of this year, they've leaked themselves almost to death. I'm not even gonna lie. I don't know how they had so many leaks. It's unprecedented how many leaks they've had. Because Legends had, I believe, like, the one leak for, like, UI and Vegeta. I believe that's it. Yeah, I believe that's it for quote-unquote leaks. Not data download things where it's actually intentional. Leaks. Dokkan has had a billion leaks. Like, this character had got leaked. AGL Bardock has got leaked. AGL Gogeta got leaked. And then, no, not this character. The next character, excuse me. The next character in the celebration has already gotten leaked. But I think it was a sin for them to do that. if you know, you know. But with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and get on out of here for real. Hopefully y'all enjoy. That was incredibly cheeky of me. I'm sorry. Oh, that makes sense. Okay, go ahead. Wrap things up. Oh my gosh. Content not too hard for sure. Especially after getting out of the fight with Goku Black and Zamasu and Goku and Vegeta on Super 3. That's probably my favorite event in a long time. I'm not even gonna lie. People might be saying, like, oh, what? That's your favorite event in a long time? Yes, because all this freaking stuff with hard content that's long, I don't like. Seeing short content, short and chubby, I think I like it. Because you can definitely feel the girth of the opponents weighing down on you. And that was such a weird way to phrase it. I'm not going to do that again. Whoa, the pause. That sounded super... I don't even... What? Anyways, I mean, definitely you can feel how much damage there are. I mean, I didn't say that for no reason, chat. But that, I don't think that came out right. But yeah, they definitely do all the damage though. All the damage. You can feel the weight of their godly might. That's what I wanted to phrase it as. Goodness gracious, what? Anyways, with that being said, hopefully y'all did enjoy. These artworks are beautiful. Can't wait to summon for part 2 and go light on it, because I will go light. I'll only go to pity. I'm being so serious when I only say I'm going to go to pity, and that's it. With that being said, hopefully y'all get lucky. Hopefully I did too. And let's see what part 2 has to bring. Yo, hopefully y'all enjoyed part 1. And with that being said, yeah, there's going to be an LA event as well. There's going to be a real life event as well. I don't know if I'm going to be able to include that, especially I have a BHFF. And it's so far, chat. It is so far. Long and moments from Zeno. Yeah. But with that being said, I'll get on out of here. Hopefully, y'all enjoyed. And until next time, where I go ahead and break down part 2 because I do not expect any more content for part 1. Sad that Vegeta and Trunks did not easy A, but happy that Future and Zamasu got their easy A as well. And yeah, they'll have to do it. I don't have any more thoughts on this, guys. Part 1 was very good. I did not have any problems with part 1, so I'd say this might be more consistent at the 10th anniversary. Shoot me if you want for saying that opinion, but it was more consistent than the 10th anniversary. Did it have the higher highs? No, because obviously Super Vegeta was peak, but it was more consistent. These units are more consistent. For sure, especially in slot 1, because you can see the faults of the 10th anniversary units, which I won't say it's bad. They just have the design of turn 1 through 4. Turn 1 through 4, you can get caught. And I mean you can get caught in the toughest content. But most content, 99% of content, they're good. But just that 1%, the pinnacle of the pinnacle, they can be caught. So keep that in mind. But they're definitely these guys are made for short content though. They have the weakness of not being BHFF. They are very good in BHFF. Sorry. I meant to say Festival of Battles they aren't prepared for. These guys are gods in BHFF though. Do not get me wrong. They are gods in BHFF. But I should stop yapping. Really got out of here for real. And yeah, with that being said, hopefully y'all enjoyed. And until next time, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and break down part 2 and see how good. Part 1 was excellent. Probably one of my favorite part 1s. And with that being said, hopefully y'all enjoy. Until next time, bye. All this content was really great, chat. I think it was. Probably some of my favorite events. I don't know how I would rank it, though, but I definitely say this is up there with my favorite celebrations. I'd say the 9th anniversary is still going to be my favorite celebration after all this is said with done, but this is pretty good, too.